Receive your gift. Release the fire. There are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are varieties of service, but the same Lord. And there are varieties of activities, but it is the same God who activates all of them in every one. When the day of Pentecost had come, they were all together in one place. And suddenly, from heaven, there came a sound like the rush of a violent wind, and it filled the entire house where they were sitting. Divided tongues as of fire appeared among them, and a tongue rested on each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other languages as the Spirit gave them ability. The first Pentecost must have been amazing. Most people didn't call it Pentecost. It was the festival of weeks, a harvest festival, and people from all over the world were there to celebrate. There were tourists who just came to see and experience a big festival. They were all so busy enjoying themselves that for the most part they didn't notice what was happening in that one house right over there. Maybe just a few people in the crowds saw anything. Maybe one person saw what looked like some kind of tornado come down and land right on that house. Someone standing nearby might have described it as an explosion of wind and fire. And guess what time all this happened? 9 a.m. We also know the names of some of the people who were there. Peter and John, James and Andrew, Philip and Thomas, Bartholomew and Matthew, James, son of Alphaeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas, son of James. Also there were women there, including Mary, the mother of Jesus, as well as his brothers. They were all constantly devoting themselves to prayer. Altogether, there were about 120 people. That's when it happened. The Spirit came down as fire and lands on all of them, the men and the women, and they are never the same again. It would have been a lot easier for the followers of Jesus to just quietly leave town, just walk through the crowds, just blend in, and then go back and start their life over somewhere else. Maybe go back to fishing or farming. But that's not what happened. Something caused them to do just the opposite. They were drawn into an even deeper commitment to Jesus. They were set on a path that would lead them to do many great things and actually put their lives in great danger. The fire that didn't burn the house down connected and ignited a fire that burns deep in all of us. When a person learns spiritual techniques such as the different forms of prayer that one can practice, if they stick to it long enough, they will discover that in their deepest, darkest corners of their soul, God is already there. The fire from on high, the fire that appears on Pentecost, awakens the followers of Jesus and empowers them like a match that starts a bonfire. On that day, both men and women received the gifts of the Holy Spirit, and there was just no turning back. Maybe you understand now why Pentecost is often called the birthday of the church. The followers were given their birthday presents. The candles were lit, the flames ignited, and each of them were burned with holy fire. The wind of the Holy Spirit breathed on them and fanned the flames that were already deep within. One writer said that the birthday of the church took place in a terrible fire. Maybe not so terrible, but powerful, life-giving, and life-changing. The followers were no longer just followers, they were witnesses. They were no longer disciples, but apostles. They were no longer in denial or uncertain about the Jesus they knew. They were given spiritual gifts that allowed them to reach out, to speak out in a way that even people from far off locations could believe and understand. When we are baptized by water in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, we too are given spiritual gifts that as we discover who we are, come flaming out of us, exploding, shining, reflecting the love of God into the world. We are also witnesses through our actions to a God that willingly sacrificed his Son to give to the world victory over death, and then sent the Holy Spirit into us so that we continue to learn how to share that love with others. Receive your gift. Discover what already burns inside of you. Light your fire. Don't hide your light under a bushel basket. Don't hold back. We cannot wait until the virus totally runs its course. We cannot always say, I'll do it next week, next month, when I retire, when my kids are older, when I have the time. When? If you wait until the right time, that time will never come. There is no perfect time. Receive your gift. Light your fire.